Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sports Gamer, and welcome back to the Wraparound. My name is Tuki, and this is the show where we go through all of the happenings throughout the ECL and really everything that we have to offer here at Sports Gamer. Now, this is always the most bittersweet edition of any type of recap show like this, as we have to talk about our concluded tournaments from our winter campaigns, from the highest heights of the ECL Elite Division, our 1v1 tournament as well. So much to talk about here today. But before we talk about what's already done, I want to look forward a little bit here, because it is worth noting, as mentioned, we always have so much going on here at Sports Gamer. And it's worth noting, of course, that signups for our spring season are currently live and close soon, so make sure to get involved. You see the dates on screen, the important dates, and of course, not only are signups live, but of course, in terms of registration, our early bird pricing options are available now as well. So do not wait, and make sure to secure your spot for our upcoming spring season. But again, that's not the only thing that we have going on here at Sports Gamer. Make sure to head over to the website at sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need here for the Espo eHockey Open Finals taking place on Saturday, April 13th from the Ainoa Shopping Center. Again, so much going on here at Sports Gamer. The website's the best place to be. Now, without any further delay, let's get into talking about the action that we had from this past season in our winter campaigns. And we're actually going to start off here on the 1v1 side of things. As, man, speaking of action, well, hey, our friends at Kovlan Lockertzy brought you the action all season long, but Eki getting it done, leading the charge, and in terms of the action, couldn't have delivered at a higher level throughout this tournament. Some mixed results in the group stage. He was the 4th seed overall, but he went undefeated in his next 8 games, including defeating Sisu in the semifinals and last season's spring champion in Tempinen in the final, who made it past Ekin, another very formidable opponent in that Final Four. The good news, though, for those who were not able to get it done and win this particular tournament, all 4 have earned a spot in the grand finals that will take place later this year. Of course, we have seen it in the sixes side of things, the grand final structure. It is there in the 1v1 side of things as well. So again, Eki crowned champion for our 1v1 winter competition. The 3 that fell a little bit short will still have their opportunity to stand tall in the grand finals. Of course, the 1v1 tournament always gets a lot of focus, but perhaps nothing gets a bigger focus than the ECL Elite Division, the highest competition for sixes out there. And what a season it was. What a playoff run that it was. H-Reds back on top of the mountain. Our 4 seed heading into the playoffs outlasts the number 1 seed and 2-time defending champions in Tunnel Vision, winning the series in 7 games, winning the series by 1 goal in Game 7 to secure the 4th title in franchise history for H-Reds, and they are, of course, now the winningest top-flight team in history. And worth noting as well, just the second time that a 4th seed has won this competition. The last time, well, it was way back in ECL 4 in 2017 with Laser HT. Unbelievable the amount of history that was made throughout this run. And when you're talking about the run of H-Reds, it starts that opening round matchup 4 versus 5. They beat Radical in 5 games, and then perhaps the shock of all shocks, the number 2 seed in Strikers, arguably H-Reds' biggest rival over the years. H-Reds were able to sweep them. Still an unbelievable result. Ultimately, H-Reds were led by their captain, Benito, who had 29 points in the playoffs, and it was one half of an unbelievable dynamic duo. Not to discount the likes of Villapoica and others, but Nikki Dangles was perhaps the MVP of that team. 15 goals in the playoffs after missing time in the regular season. Incredible stuff there. And of course, you can't look past the goaltender either. Finsere, 86.5% save percentage, 4 shutouts in 16 games. An unbelievable team with some unbelievable individual talent as well, which brings us to our award winners as well from this past elite season. And the reason why we want to bring it up now is because there was plenty of representation from H-Reds. Kicking things off, Benito winning forward of the season yet again. He's always in the mix every single season. Defenseman of the year, defender of the year, I should say, was Landstrom from Jyväskylä. A tremendous season for him. But then we go right back to H-Reds with Finsere winning top goaltender of the season. We move ahead to top rookie, Leiku, able to pick up those honors there. Very excited to see what he is able to do in his next season. The top transfer went to Kriketsi, a big-time move that was made there that just didn't quite work out for Tunnel Vision in the final. And of course, our final award, we always talk about the comeback player, those who have been out of the Elite Division for a season or more, come back and make that big impact. That was JM this past season for Polsky boys. This entire presentation could be about the Elite Division and nothing but the Elite Division, but there is your quick little catch up on what happened there. But with that said, I want to move over now to our Pro Division, as what a result this was. The number 1 seed, Gotham Knights, taking home the title over our 4th seed in Renascore in a full 7-game series. Now, Gotham Knights didn't have all that much of a difficult time making it to the finals, sweeping their first 2 opponents, the 8th seed in Valco and the 11th seed in the Hervlev Eagles. Gifu Hockey gave them a little bit of trouble in that semifinal. The series went 6, but ultimately Gotham Knights just too much for the opposition here in the playoffs, led by Karani with 52 points in 21 games, and defenseman, very experienced elite level player in Ilmari, was tied for 2nd in scoring on the team with 39 points. Goaltender Disco Crick, an 86% save percentage. Gotham on their way to the Elite Division. And it's always a question as to what's going to happen when a team gets there. How prepared are they going to be for the jump? I mentioned Polsky boys a few minutes ago with JM winning comeback player of the year. This Gotham Knights squad could be as prepared for the Elite Division as any pro champion has ever been. Very excited for the spring season to see what they can do. We move to the next tier down, our Light Division champions. That was the 2 seed in Bone Breakers, who survived over the 3rd seed in Hexa Esports, winning the best of 7 series in 5 games. For Bone Breakers as well, a very similar story. They weren't tested too heavily up until the final. In the opening round, they sweep the 31 seed in Armada Hockey. The 17 seed Shameful Knights, they dispatched them in 5. They beat Finnish Roosters, the 11th seed in 5, and then swept the 12th seed in Almost Famous. So to not have a single series go past 5 games is simply outstanding. And then you get to talk about the individuals, led by Bobby with 29 goals, 58 points overall, and all 3 forwards with at least 24 goals. A tremendous performance from Bone Breakers, and certainly a team that people will have their eyes on moving forward. Dropping down to our core division, which saw perhaps the most exciting final. And we've talked about Game 7s already, but it was our 9th seed in Bellissimo, securing the win in 7 games over the 2 seed Sack Brothers via reverse sweep. And for Bellissimo, it doesn't exactly line up like other champions we've talked about. They had some troubling series as the playoffs went on. They started off strong, sweeping the 24th seed Nordic Nosebleed, but then the 8th seed, Nameless, took them to 6 games. The 16th seed in Moto Hockey take them to 7 games, and then they go to 6 in the semifinal against the 4th seed in Mites. But despite that, just an incredible run overall. You have Mr. Mickey leading the way, 67 points in 29 games. Goaltender Odex as well, 83% save percentage and a phenomenal 6 shutouts. Another tremendous championship run. Bellissimo, the big chef's kiss. And last but certainly not least, it brings us to our final tier, our entry-level tier in the Neo division that saw Tarun Gasalit, the Gazelle of Turku, take home the championship. They were our 8th seed in the playoffs. They win a best of 5 in 4 games over the 11th seed Overping Threshers. To survive this format, 32 teams making the playoffs, certainly not easy, but they had some tremendous offensive contributors. Yotaya Lebi leading the way with 51 points in 20 games, while Captain Poyarzinho tallied 30 goals. They did survive a bit of a scare in the opening round from 25th seed Nordland before going on to complete back-to-back sweeps of not only the 12th seed Wild Hogs, but the 7th seed in Torspot, and then surviving Old Hogs in the semifinals in 5. A great run from the Gazelles, certainly. And again, it's the entry-level tier. You never exactly know where teams are going to go, but whenever you win a championship, you're always going to be looked at as a team to keep an eye on in the future. So with that, everybody, that wraps up our winter seasons for the ECL. Of course, as I mentioned right off the top, though, our spring seasons are right around the corner. Again, one more time, make sure to get registered if you haven't already. The dates are on your screen now. And again, the early bird special pricing is available for those who register early. Make sure to get involved. These past few seasons have been tremendous in terms of the competition level, despite what some of the conversations may be about the game in and of itself. When it gets down to it, the regular season's always exciting, and of course the playoffs just take it to another level, and I think we saw that throughout all the tiers this past season. I'm very excited to see how things play out in our spring campaigns moving forward. But with that, again, a big thank you for joining me here all season long. Maybe we'll get a few more of these out there next season. Time will tell. I certainly wouldn't mind doing these a little bit more frequently. But with that, again, a big thank you to all of you for supporting us here at Sports Gamer. A big shout out to our friends at Kovalon Lockertsy as always. And again, we will see you very soon for the start of a brand new season.